Welcome back to Geography Samachir syllabus of Tamil Nadu. Class 10 Geography Lesson 4 India Resources and Industries Part 2. Resources. The resources from which the electricity generated are called energy resources. Electricity is an important component of our life. No day-to-day activity takes without the use of this energy. It is also the key factor for all economic activities and industrial development. The power required to run any type of machineries in the industries is supplied by these energy resources. And these energy resources are categorized into renewable resource, energy resource, and non-renewable energy resource. And these renewable energy resources are the resources that can be replenished after we use. And non-renewable energy resources are mostly fossil energy resources and they cannot be regenerated. Now let us see about non-renewable energy resources. These resources are also called as conventional resources. That means which have been used by humankind for a very long time. First, let us see about coal. Coal is an inflammable organic substance composed mainly of hydrocarbons. Coal is available in the form of sedimentary rocks. It is used in the generation of thermal power. It has close association with the industrial development of any country. And we all know that the Industrial Revolution was started in England only because of the availability of the coal. Since it is a valuable one, it is also called as black gold. Based on carbon content, it is classified into the following types. The types of coal are anthracite, bituminous, lignite, and peat. And this anthracite coal, it has 80 to 90% of carbon content, whereas bituminous coal or soft coal, it contains 60 to 80% of carbon. And lignite or brown coal, which is mined in Neyveli in Tamil Nadu, it has 40 to 60%, and peat, it has less than 40%. So if the carbon content is more, it can generate more heat and pressure. Coal is an important source of energy in India with its varied and innumerable uses. It can be converted into gas, oil, electricity, and thermal power. Besides, it forms a basic raw material for the production of chemicals, dyes, fertilizers, paints, synthetic, and explosives. Indian coal is mostly associated with Gondwana series of rocks and is primarily found in peninsular India. And we all know that the peninsular part of India was once a part of Gondwana land, whereas the northern part, that is the Himalayan region, was under the Tethys Sea. So the peninsular region of India, it's called as Gondwana land, and it has the Gondwana series of rocks. And the states of Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh account for nearly 90% of the coal reserves of the country. And about 2% of India's coal is of tertiary type and is found mostly in Assam and Jammu and Kashmir. Jharkhand is the largest coal producing state in country, followed by Odisha, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Indian lignite deposits occur in the southern and western parts of peninsular India, particularly in Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Kerala. The Ministry of Coal has overall responsibility of determining policies and strategies in respect of exploration and development of coal resource in India. Coal and India Limited, CIL, NLC India Limited, and Singareni Collieries Company Limited or its public sector undertakings. Coal India Limited is an Indian state-controlled coal mining company headquartered in Kolkata, West Bengal. The next is petroleum. The word petroleum has been derived from two Latin words meaning petro. Petro means rock and oleum means oil. Thus, petroleum is oil obtained from rocks of the earth. Therefore, it is also called mineral oil. Petroleum is an inflammable liquid that is composed of hydrocarbons which constitute 90 to 95% of the petroleum, and remaining is chiefly organic compounds containing oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and traces of organometallic compounds. So hydrocarbon, carbon and nitrogen together constitutes 90 to 95%, and the rest, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and other organic metallic compounds, they constitute the rest of the percentage. And this is how the petroleum is made, and these are all the byproducts of the petroleum. So at different temperatures, the different types of oil are produced from the crude oil. Petroleum is used as a source of power and fuel for automobiles, aeroplanes, ships and locomotives. Lubricants, kerosene, vaseline, tar, soap, terylene and wax are its byproducts. Oil in India is obtained from both from onshore and offshore areas. What is the difference between the onshore and offshore oil fields? In short, onshore drilling refers to drilling deep holes under the Earth's surface, whereas offshore drilling relates to drilling underneath the seabed. So these are the western coast offshore oil fields of India. Mumbai High oil field, Gujarat coast, Vizim oil field of South Mumbai High, Aliabad oil field south of Bhavnanagar, Ankleshwar in Gujarat, Kambe and Luni region, Ahmedabad, Kalol region. And eastern coast offshore oil fields are Brahmaputra Valley in Assam, Digboy oil fields, which is one of the oldest oil field of India, Naharotia oil field, Moran Hugrijan oil field, Rudrasaha lava oil field, Sarma oil valley, offshore of Andaman and Nicobar, Gulf of Mannar, Baleshwar coast, Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Natural gas. Natural gas usually accompanies the petroleum accumulations. It is naturally occurring hydrocarbon gas mixture consisting primarily of methane, but commonly includes varying amounts of other higher alkenes and sometimes a small percentage of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and hydrogen sulfides. So the major component is methane, and the rest of the components are ethane, propane, butane, condensates, and very, very low amount of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and helium. Natural gas is formed when layers of decomposed plants and animals are exposed to intense heat and pressure over thousands of years. It is used as a source of energy for heating, cooking, and electricity generation. It is also used as fuel for vehicles and as a chemical feedstock in the manufacture of plastics and other commercially important organic chemicals. India has a very large proportion of tertiary rock and alluvial deposits, particularly in the extra-peninsular India. These sedimentary rocks, which were once under the shallow seas, hold the possibility of harboring oil and gas deposits. The highest concentration of natural gas is found in Mumbai High. This is Mumbai High. And Basin oil fields. This is the Basin oil field. Gujarat, Assam, Nepal-Tur, Magmadam in Tanjavur district in Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Rajasthan, Arunachal Pradesh, Punjab, West Bengal are the other areas where natural gas resources have been discovered. GAIL, formerly known as Gas Authority of India Limited, is the largest state-owned natural gas processing and distribution company in India. It is headquartered in New Delhi. Compressed natural gas, CNG, methane stored at high pressure, is a fuel which can be used in place of gasoline, diesel fuel, and propane, that is LPG. In comparison to other fuels, natural gas poses less of a threat in the event of a spill because it's lighter than air and disperses quickly when released. Biomethane, cleaned up biogas from anaerobic digestion or landfills, can be used. Natural gas-run vehicles are increasingly nowadays used in Delhi, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Lucknow, Kanpur, and Varanasi. Sources of energy, conventional and non-conventional. Commercial and non-commercial. The conventional can be again categorized into commercial and non-commercial. Now we saw about this coal and petroleum, and non-commercial firewood and dryden, and non-conventional solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, bioenergy, and energy from urban waste. And all these non-conventional energies are renewable sources of energy. Thermal power is generated using fossil fuels like coal, diesel, petroleum, and natural gas. The thermal power station is a power station in which heat energy is converted to electrical power. In most, a steam-driven turbine converts heat to mechanical power as an intermediate to electrical power. Water is heated, turns into steam, and drives a steam turbine, which drives an electrical generator. National Thermal Power Corporation was established in the year 1975. At present, this NTPC has 13 coal-based super thermal power projects and 7 gas or liquid fuel-based combined cycle projects. They are in the states of Assam, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, and West Bengal. Neyveli, Mettur, Thoothukudi, and Ennur near Chennai are the important thermal power stations in Tamil Nadu. The next one is nuclear power. The energy released during nuclear fission or fusion is used to generate electricity. Nuclear energy is generated mainly from the minerals of uranium and thorium. The first nuclear power station was set up at Tarapur near Mumbai in 1969, which is called as BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. Later, atomic reactors were installed at Rawatbata near Kota in Rajasthan here, and then Kalpakam in Tamil Nadu, and also in Kudangulam, and Narora in Uttar Pradesh, Kaiga in Karnataka, and Kakrapara in Gujarat. This is in Gujarat. So these are all the important atomic research power stations in India. The Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL, is an Indian public sector undertaking based in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It is wholly owned by the Government of India and is responsible for the generation of nuclear power for electricity. Renewable sources of energy: solar power, hydroelectric power, biofuel, tidal power, and wind power. First, let us see about hydropower. Power generated from water is termed as hydroelectricity. Hydropower is the energy harnessed from running water or falling water. Most economic and non-polluting sources of energy is this hydropower. It contributes nearly 7% of global electricity production. The cost of production of hydroelectricity is relatively low. It is also a flexible mode of power generation, very quickly adapting to changing demands. The first hydroelectric power station in India was established at Darjeeling in West Bengal in the year 1897. National Hydroelectric Power Corporation is located in Faridabad in India. Solar energy. Solar power is a conversion of sunlight into electricity, either directly using photovoltaics or indirectly using concentrated solar power. Concentrated solar power systems use lenses or mirrors and tracking system to focus a large area of sunlight into a small beam. Photovoltaics convert light into an electric current using photovoltaic effect. The mass objectives of the Solar Thermal Energy Program being implemented by the Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources are market development, commercialization, utilization of heat energy requirement of different applications in domestic, institutional, and industrial sectors. Solar power is used in water heaters, refrigerators, drying, street lighting, cooking, pumping, power generator, photovoltaic cells, salon parts, etc. Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh are the major solar power producers of India other than these states. Wind energy. Wind energy is extracted from air flow using wind turbines. It is a cheap and pollution-free source of energy. Power from windmills are used for pumping water onto sail-propelled ships. Wind power is plentiful, renewable, widely distributed, clean, and produces no greenhouse gas emissions during operation. And these plants occupy only a less space. The development of wind power in India began in the year 1986 with the first wind farms were set up in coastal areas of Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu with 55 kilowatts vistas and turbines. The capacity has significantly increased in last few years. India has the fourth largest installed wind power capacity in the world. Tamil Nadu has the largest installation of wind turbines in the country in the RLY Muri area near Kanyakumari. It is the largest concentration of wind farm capacity at a single location in the world. Biomass energy. Bioenergy may be obtained through biodegradable materials like animal dung, kitchen waste, water hyacinth, agricultural residues, and city wastes. It is clean and cheap source of energy. Energy derived from biomass is mostly used for domestic purposes. The two main sources of ocean energy are waves and tidal energy. The Gulf of Cambay is the best suited area for tidal energy. And this Gulf of Cambay, it is also known as Gulf of Cambay. And this is followed by Gulf of Kutch and Sundarbans. And wave energy power plant of 150 kilowatts has been installed at Virinjam near Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. And another plant of this kind has been set up near Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Thank you for watching this episode. And if you find this very useful to you, like it, comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get the notifications. Thanks for watching.